Okay. I believe we should be working now. And let me know if you're watching and you can hear the audio. Had a bit of a technical issue before, but we are back. Welcome back to Walking in Magic and this very special series of videos called Everyday Magic. This is the fourth and final video of this particular series. And then we have a closing ceremony, which happens over on Zoom. If you want to be a part of the Everyday Magic experience and get access to all the videos, some bonus videos, plus a bunch of downloadable goodies and companion PDFs for each video that you can use for your journals, your grimoires, etc. We've got some spells, some journal prompts, and lots of goodies. Hey, Kat, thank you so much. Okay, mwah, good to see you. So you can find the link for Everyday Magic below in the description box. And again, that is going to be pretty much live and available forever because I want you to get access to it and grow with it and from it. It's been such a delight, such an honor, such a growth experience for me. Hey, Kit, such a growth experience for me to do this. I've done work like this for the past 6 years. I lose count. But the point is, this has been a game changer personally for me. I've chosen to walk myself through what feels like an initiation portal and an initiation in how I show up, in how I, in my authenticity, in me doing the things that my heart is leaning into time and time again, and dialing down the mental chatter and having what I've been calling mental fortitude, which came through loud and clear for me in a tarot reading I did for myself before starting this journey on Sunday. It said, you will require a lot of mental fortitude to move through this. I'm sorry for the cough. I'm still getting over it, but the show must go on. So mental fortitude and a lot of moments of the self-doubt that creeps in, and then just like, all right, no, new moment. Let's go out there and create wonderful and beautiful things and stretch and exercise the different gifts, attempt new things, explore things, learn. I've learned new things along the way, which is always incredible, both magical, mystical, and also very practical. I've gained new tools. I've met new incredible people, and that's really at the heart of this. It's like the community that keeps building and stretching and loving up on each other and supporting each other is magic in the making. Today we get to talk about intuition and confidence. Confidence and intuition is such a profound topic when it comes to walking in our magic and being in the spirit and the essence of everyday magic. I've been sitting with this from early this morning when I woke up and sent my little guy to school. And I've been really sitting with, as I wrote an email this morning to my newsletter community all about this topic. I talked about the eclipse portals coming up as a massive gateway and I call it a grand leap moment to support your sense of confidence and intuition. And I want to bring it like down and give it some more words. And so the best way that I can do that is through my own experience and the experience of what I've seen collectively that moves through us as I've had the opportunity to guide and coach hundreds of people through different modalities, one-on-one, groups, workshops, in person, online, all the things, is there's this mantra that I received from a full moon back in 2018. I always have a practice of asking the full moon if there's a message that she wants to share with me. And back in 2018, I received this very clear one that just said, I know, I go. And it was meant to be something like a key for me. And in the moment, I looked up at the moon and I said, thank you so much. And I went back home. I was in a park looking at this beautiful, I think it was a super full moon. So it was incredibly radiant. And I wrote it in my journal and I began this self-exploration of what that means. And over many years of trying different things, making different decisions, having successes and failures and missteps and this and that, I've come to understand more and more the incredible, profound power of what this mantra can do for us. And I know I go really is this sort of synthesis and this phrase that helps us understand confidence plus intuition in action. What does that mean? So having the confidence, first of all, opening yourself up to the intuitive messages that we will receive, the messages, the symbols, the feelings, the beliefs, the gifts that come through, sort of that opening that intuitive space. We are all primed for this intuitive knowledge to come through. It is your absolute birthright. It's a channel that often has been muddled or cloudy or cut off, or we're afraid of accessing for a multitude of reasons. So our job is not so much to desire to be intuitive. You already are. It's more about clearing the debris that might be within that channel, that literal like cable of communication between you and spirit, your higher self, source, your guides. But intuition really is something that is born from within and becomes more and more activated the more things you explore in your life. It's kind of like a little glass bottle that's been corked in, and you uncork it, and out comes all of this information and sort of feeling and belief. And this is the I know, capital K, I know. I know. The knowing could be a feeling. It could be an idea. It could be a spark of something that you want to give form to. It could be based on a decision, and you know sort of where to go. And then the I go is the confidence in action, right? So it's that confidence of I know, I go. I believe that one of the things that it's possible for me in this lifetime to support other people with is precisely it's what I call shortening the gap between I know and I go. I know the intuition, the belief, the feeling, right? That sort of like stream of what comes in, and the I go. The I go is the action. It is the materialization. It's bringing it into some tangible form. I also call this turning your light into form. It is the bringing through the elements that you know you are somehow meant to share with the world into a form that bridges the spirit and the material. We are all connecting and bridging between our soul self and our earthly, walking, moving, breathing, creating self. And when we are that intersection between those two spots, between the spiritual and the material, between spirit and the strategy of how you bring something to life, right at that intersection, that's what I call where our creatrix consciousness lies. And we can look at this also through the lens of the feminine and the masculine, the feminine being the I know and the masculine being the I go, the solar and the lunar. There's so many aspects that hold both of these frequencies together. I was going to say we cannot, but that's not the case. What I want to say is that we should encourage ourselves and lean more and more into not overcompensating one or the other. We can be in the I know world and never do anything with it. And on the other side, we could be in the I go world where we're not even listening. We've crimped off the flow of what's coming through. Why do we do this? We do this for fear of making a wrong move, hurting ourselves or hurting somebody. By the way, a lot of this has just been ingrained and conditioned in us over time. Things that come from love and from the purity of intention might rattle people and shake them up and shake feathers, but hurt is not necessarily a product of that. It's just been ingrained in us. So combining these two, bridging these two, allowing these two to mix together and then create something from that is what happens. Now, intuition and how we develop it and how we begin to trust it more and more is the product of a path that we walk on. It's why I call it walking in magic. It's why I have this belief that infusing and interlacing more of magic, spirit, connecting with divinity, bringing our humanity and our divinity together to play in the same space. That intersection, that right there is the point of creation. When we're walking this path, it can feel incredibly luminous and delicious and also confusing and chaotic. But chaos breeds what? More creation. Chaos in its origin is basically the nothing from which everything stems from. So the unknown, the mysterious, we are drawn to it because it is a seed of unlimited potential. But what do, right? We can't just leave it in that sort of super cosmic, it's so yummy to play in that space, but we've also got to ground it. We do the thing. We take the actual step forward. And then what that does is it actually emboldens and increases our sense of confidence in ourselves. Confidence is basically trust. Confidence comes from the Latin confidere, which means to trust in ourselves, to have the self-assurance that no matter where you go, what you do, where you are, what you come up against, you will have the ability to move through it, with it, to grow from it. No matter how painful, hard, challenging, it becomes part of the fabric of your unique, what I call your light print, the fabric of your light print, which is that which makes you completely unique and then able to bring incredible new things into form. We're going to have to bring a lot of new things into form in order to shake up the systems that have been keeping us crusty and stagnant and stuck for so long. And when you have that desire to shake something up, and as I was saying in one of my earlier emails, I think it was yesterday that I was talking about magical people being disruptive, like magical people that cause others to question, cause others to, like, it's both the sense of like wonder and also like fear, because magical people cause ripples. That is part of our just journey. That is part of what we're here to do. When we are holding ourselves back from causing those ripples and from impacting our surroundings and moving the energy around us in some way, then we feel angry, resentful, repressed, stuck, stagnant. We have regrets, and we then might actually turn that like bottled up energy into energy that's detrimental, because it's been so crimped and so like under this pressure without being released, that then it becomes detrimental to ourselves and those around us. And of course, this has many layers, and you get to walk in your own mystery and your own magic and feel into what lands for you and what doesn't. And this is for you to just see what opens up and connects the dots. Intuition and confidence and walking the path to you're not gaining them from anything or anybody. You are unearthing them from you. You are clearing out a lot of the debris that has covered up the essence of intuitive confidence, creation, self-expression in the world. And we do this by slowly chipping away and dissolving the layers, right? And there are so many incredible ways to do that, through the work of magic and through the work of shadow work and through the work of just doing the work, facing the things, becoming more present to our experience and the gifts and the challenges that our soul has chosen in this lifetime. One of the reasons why I love astrology so much is because it gives you a language to understand those soul assignments much better. And again, I've seen this over time after having the opportunity to read for a whole bunch of people and see the incredible potential that's hidden within each of us, waiting to be uncorked. And we have fears around this. We have fears around allowing our intuition to make decisions because we have no guarantees, because it's uncharted territory, because there's no script, because maybe the things that you desire to do have not been done before. And even if they've been done before, they certainly haven't been done in your way, with your own light print instead of, what you know. Like, it's unique. So therefore, it is unknown. It is uncharted. You are blazing your own trail. Speaking of blazing your own trail, we are sitting in the midst of a really powerful cycle of time where the North Node in Aries, the North Node of fate, collectively is calling us towards answering the question, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? No, really, who are you? And what do you need? And from that inquiry and sitting in that inquiry and answering that, then watch you be able to radiate out so much of what will then become of real, true service and alchemy and transformation out in the world in very real ways. In the things you create, the books you write, the emails you send, the programs you build together, the ways that you share your volunteering in your community, the communities that you build. Watch it come out and impact and do the magic, which is the movement of energy in very real ways. You then co-create with the universe, not from, this is the other really important thing about confidence and intuition, because there are no guarantees. So you don't have a script. And we're used to doing things based on expecting a certain sort of result. And then if I don't get that result, I must be doing something wrong. And while results and metrics and, the numbers in our lives, whether it's your bank account or it's how many people you enroll in something, how many art pieces you sell, how many books you sold, or whatever that is, those are all valuable pieces of information. We're not going to disregard them, because then what are we living in? Some pretend la la land that's not grounded in reality. Magic is here and now and pulsing through you and interacting with the world around you. We can't just park ourselves in some little bubble somewhere, because then we're not really impacting the world around us. At least that's my belief. So I totally lost my train of thought. Where was I going? Where are we going with this? There's just so many things. So, okay. So magic and intuition have to happen in the here and now. And they take a lot of courage. They take profound courage. And they take you saying yes to things that maybe you weren't sure you could say yes to. And they take you, not only doing sort of the daily actions and things that are moving you forward, and while you're answering the question, who are you? Who am I? What do I want? What do I need? And those questions can be very confronting, because we are still living nestled in a world where we have all these dimensions of real things happening. The people that live with us, the people we care for, the jobs we have, the challenges we face. It's all, and again, the work we do has to be at the intersection of our spirituality and our humanity. So answering the question, who am I? And then what do I do with that? Can feel like a very scary thing, because what if I honestly, genuinely answer the question, who am I? But then I can't do anything about it. Like, okay, great. Maybe I know, but I can't follow through. That's going to be painful. Or maybe I figure it out, parts of it, as we keep, spiraling in this beautiful journey. I figure it out more and more, but my circumstances around me won't allow me to do the fullest expression of me, to have the fullest expression of me. So then we cut ourselves off. We pull back. We dim. We don't necessarily play a little bit more like out in the sun, because let's face it, we're afraid of getting hurt. I was talking about this in my email today. We're afraid of getting rejected. We're afraid of getting hurt. We're afraid of not reaching our potential. We're afraid of thinking, what if, and then not getting to it. And God, goddess knows we've had many examples. Probably you have as well in your life where you've done something and it just has not gone the way you thought it would or hoped it would. And you put a lot of love into it and a lot of dedication, and then it just kind of fell flat. And that can chip away at our sense of confidence. And it'll chip away at our sense of like what's possible. Walking in this path of leaning into the possibilities around us has to require a sense of, I just keep going. I rest, I recalibrate, I recharge, and I keep going. One breath after the other, one foot after the other, one imperfect action after the other, one glorious leap after the next. That is what your life is made of. And again, to bring back the essence of the more we leap to discover the beautiful opportunities that lie with co-creating with the universe, the more mysterious things get. Maybe even the more questions that we have. Are we willing to stay in that inquiry? Are we willing to play in that space of the unknown without having this expectation of certainty that has been somehow encoded in us? I want to read some of them. Kid says, intersection of invisible/visible world equals the point from where we create, whether intentionally or not. Beautiful. By the way, I just had a conversation with Kit right before I recorded this because she was intrigued about working together with me. So we sat and had the most glorious goosebump, chill-filled, quick chat, and it reaffirmed my belief in everything that I wrote in that email today and that I'm telling you right now. That when we are at the place where it is just like the grand leap is imminent, watch the sparks fly. And what she called the co-creation cauldron that happens when we work with somebody else in this space right now, that we are working some magic together, or we're sitting in a program or a workshop, or you're reading a book. You are co-creating with the person that put all of that love and intention into that experience that is a living and breathing laboratory of possibility. That is the deep intention that I have for example, the Creatrix Laboratory. It is a quest and an adventure that brings us from point A to B to C, and we keep going until we reach a crescendo and a place of completion right before the spring equinox, which is an incredible point of bloom. There's a very intentional path of energy and cosmic conversations that we're going to be having as we complete the year, begin the year while you are in creation. And whether you jump into that space or not, I want you to think about the next few months. From right now, we have the eclipse portal that is coming right up. I'll give you 2 dates to write on your calendar. We have the Libra solar eclipse on October 14th, and we have the Taurus lunar eclipse on October 28th. This eclipse portal is super powered. They all are. And I'll tell you, last year I worked very intentionally with the eclipses happening in 2022. It transformed me. It challenged the heck out of me, but it utterly transformed me. I turned inside out and upside down, and I was like, okay, and I'm here for it. To quote one of my medicine woman teachers that I've done plant medicine journeys with, she once gave my husband and I this gift as we were entering a ceremony, an ayahuasca ceremony. And she said, listen, you may not be ready, but you're here. And she gave me this gift and said, and we've used it since then, said, I'm not ready. I may not feel ready, but I am here. I am present. And that in itself is a spell. That in itself is just, whew, like you've just opened the door. And you have welcomed in the combination of who you are with the magic that will inevitably unfold, guided by something oftentimes mysterious and hopefully also practical that helps you stay connected and committed so that you can really see something through. Follow through and completion energy are powerful sources of confidence and intuition, of cementing the confidence and intuition within you. Follow through and completion. The I know and I go has to have the ingredients of following through and completing things. When we do that, there is no other product more valuable from that than your own sense of confidence and your intuition, your validation that your intuition was spot on, and your courage. That's like it is so. So we have these 2 eclipse portals. Work with them. Work with them. Work with the transformative energies that we're entering into come the fall. Work with the winter solstice. Start to plan and do divination for 2024 using the winter solstice. There's a beautiful practice that I always do for this. Find your word of the year for 2024. I'm just giving you the tidbits that I use to open up the world of possibilities of what the following years have to offer. And as we look into the calendar year 2024, work with the moons, work with the winter solstice, work with the wheel of the year, find the pulse, find the rhythm. Maybe you do already. And if you do, I see you. It's so good. And then bring in your magical, what I call magical systems and things that you implement day to day to follow through. I'll give you another incredible, beautiful cosmic tip. This is a good one. October 8th, as I record this, Venus is entering the sign of Virgo. I talked about this in the video yesterday, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. Venus is a magnificent source for you to connect your spirituality, your divinity with your humanity. She has a key for you. She wants you to grab it, use it, believe in yourself. She wants you to believe in what you create and wants to help you bring things into form through your senses and through your lived experience, through harmony, through connection. Venus is working with Venus and Artemis has changed the game for me, among many other incredible goddesses. But those 2, in terms of the goddess pantheon, I have other guides as well, like Mary Magdalene and a few others, but working in conjunction with Venus and Artemis and Athena. Ooh, Athena. Athena is all like Aries action. So just food for thought. Whatever sparks your fancy there, just like jot it down and go down the rabbit hole. Okay, I'm going to read some of these others. Zoe, Celtic Pheasant, says, it is so wonderful, so wonder to hear you speak, Maria. It is painful, but how wonderful it feels when you come into your magic again, no matter how late it is. Yes. And just tap into the incredible wisdom that lies within all the many years of experience that you have, wherever you are on the journey of life and your, maiden mother crone journey, if we want to look at it that way. The incredible energy that you've cultivated, also what you've brought in from past lifetimes and past experiences, the threads that you carry through to bring into fruition in this lifetime, and having the courage to do so. That's why I want to inspire as many incredible people as I can to shorten the gap between I know and I go, because the gap sometimes is so vast that it's like I know, and we just sit there. And there's all these things that come in between. Perfectionism, imposter syndrome. I don't have time. I don't have resources. People won't know me. I don't have money. I'm going to look stupid. And the I go is like all the way over there. And so when we shorten the gap, and I've thought a lot about this too, because I know I go is not about careless action. It is very intentional. So the in-between space is also charged with your preparation, with your discernment. It's like you get an idea, and what's the anatomy of it? It's like I get an idea, and let me try this on. Let me see what it feels like. Let me write about it. Let me create some art around it. Let me explore. Let me uncork this for myself, right? Okay, this might have some legs. Okay, what are the practical elements around me? How can I get resourced? All of these things are also part and nestled in the anatomy of I go, of I know and I go. But there's a big but, big juicy but. We cannot stay stuck in that cycle of I will be ready when, and when the time comes. The time is never the right time. If I would have waited for the right time to launch this everyday magic thing, I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting and waiting and waiting because the right time, whatever right time is, at least in my current reality, doesn't even exist. I've become completely unattached to that. What I do is I check in and I discern, is this a good moment for me to dive into this? And I will feel into that. I'll write about it. I'll pull some cards. I'll sit with it. Sometimes I get an idea that I think is amazing and I'm like, no, not now. Because I get a lot of them, a lot of ideas. But the ones that I know there's a thread there for me to keep pulling and following, I will move myself and I will get to the point where I go and I do the thing. And it takes mental fortitude. It takes talking to the butterflies in my stomach and telling them it's going to be okay. It takes moving through all the questions. It takes people that come, people that go. Not everybody's going to like what you share. People are going to have questions, or maybe you're going to have experiences where you're like, oh my God, what? Sorry about the dog, Nova. Thank you. Thank you. I just had a magical helper open the door and get the dog out. Sorry about that. Live videos. So if I had waited for the right time, wouldn't happen. Tasha says, and saying no to things we think we can't say no to. Absolutely. The way I think about it is that we say no in favor of saying yes to something else. So the no is like a hidden yes for something else. It's powerful. That is a big one. I learned that at 71. Amazing. Spent 20 years dimming more and more to stay in something that died because I was no longer there. That is powerful self-knowledge, Tasha. It sounds like you are no longer dimming. That is so wonderful. Janelle Hardy does a wonderful 10 days of emails of going into the darkness. Starts 10 days before the solstice. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Minda says, sweet baby. I think you're talking about Nova, right? My doggy. I think I'm back. Let me see. My face in the recording is hilarious when the thing went off. Okay. So I'm back, but I'm going to start wrapping it up. Because there's so many things I could say. I could sit here for like 5 hours talking, but that's not going to happen. Well, it could happen, but I choose to not make that happen right now. I was going to say, okay, that initiatory, it's like I know drops in. That initiatory impulse, the action of I go, right? Then we need to bring in the elements of the follow through and the completion energy, which is where your practice comes in, which is where being in a supportive space, what other people are doing, it comes in, which is where checking in with, a friend or a mentor or a fellow just cosmic warrior on the journey that gets you that's where that comes in. And then you can sustain, because there will inevitably be so many obstacles and things that come in the way. And guess what? Here's what I've also learned that you probably learned as well is when the universe sends us a message that is like a clear sort of beautiful directive of go there, do that thing. And you say, okay, loud and clear, I get it. I'm going to go. And maybe you have some hesitation, but you go. watch the universe and begin to send you tests, challenges, pop quizzes, midterms, any number of things to what? To help you grow through it. And because of how you're leaning in, you just reach new levels of what's possible for you, how you trust yourself, the way you move through the world, how grounded you feel in your decisions, even though you might be scared or uncertain. So the universe, not because it wants to mess with you, it's because it wants to grow you. It's like, it will show you the growth points. And some of them will just render you like a mush of I can't do this on the floor, on the bathroom floor someday when you're just crying and like, why? And when we can breathe through that and allow ourselves to sit with that and contemplate it, give it words, just be with that experience, and then know that we will absolutely have the possibility of emerging on the other side, stronger, clearer, more determined, and things will just trigger you less, bother you less. We care less about what people around us think because we just feel like, I don't know, it's like, why not? And we come to expect from a soul North Star kind of experience that anything that is meant to happen with us and through us will come at the right time, and that we always have choice. We always have choice to co-create with the universe. Yes, Nova was emphasizing my points. Thank you, Nova. I mean, she's supernova. So yes, she gets it. She gets her mama. All right, my friends. We're going to conclude this here. I would love to know, thank you for those of you who are here and commenting. I would love to know if you've watched up to this point, drop a little star, a magic wand, something magical, little crystal ball emoji in the comments to know that you're here and you've been, connecting and receiving something from all the things that I've shared. Know that I have deep love and admiration for anybody who is walking the path and in the deep mystery and the magic and the inquiry. For those of us who are creating new worlds with our thoughts and our hands and our lips and our words. And my prayer is that we keep honoring and emboldening the essence of each of our I know and I go, because the world really is a magnificent, challenging playground for us to live and breathe in, and for us to keep walking and illuminating and radiating and having fun and crying and getting angry, screaming and burning some things down, maybe a lot of things down. I hope that you leverage these beautiful eclipses coming up. There's a lot of powerful energy coming through. So also find ways to integrate your energy and ground yourself. Be in the openness and the inquiry, and be willing to see what transformation and metamorphosis lies around the corner, because we've been planting a lot of seeds for the past couple of years. We've been planting a lot of seeds, and I have a feeling that there's going to be like a spark of, it's like thunder that cracks on this incredible soil where we've planted all the seeds, and it's just this like magical spark of like something will come up. Lean into it, work with it, explore it. Don't take anything for granted. Dwell in your own magic, and keep extending your your light, and your love. Thank you. I see your emojis. I love them. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see you in a future video. Again, you can go down, check Everyday Magic for more goodies to accompany these videos. Watch the other videos as well. They're all together in a playlist. I have an incredible Patreon community that I just revamped and poured in some extra magic into. So you can go over there to support my work and have an ongoing thread of magic and practice in your lives, working with the moons and et cetera, et cetera. All for the intention of really helping you align with your purpose and follow your very unique, beautiful purpose and your creativity and your joy. And then consider the Creatrix Lab, which is going to be absolutely powerful and incredible. It's an intimate space. So we're going to be growing and, learning together and having some really incredible co-creative experiences with a guided quest that will help you layer by layer shine a light on certain things, on a bunch of things, release a bunch of stuff, and then come up with a beautiful creative project. In February of next year, imagine having a creation that you've been sitting on for a while that you really wanted to make happen. Imagine moving yourself through, it's like 10, 11 weeks that we'll be working together all the way through right before the spring equinox. Imagine having that creation come to life and be shared with the world and bloom right alongside springtime. It's good stuff. All my love and stardust always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love, love, love. You're very welcome. And thank you for being here. And I will see you next time. Adios.